Testing, go.
Can you hear us? Do we have sound? Are we live? 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 Are we good? I think we're good.
Can they hear us?
I think so.
It's
Loud and clear. Perfect.
They auto-powered off after they're not used for a
We
while.
normally use microphones in the studio that are hardwired in, so we're using wireless setups. Every time we're in the parlor trying to do a show,
The parlor.
it's always there's always something. At least we didn't curse at each other. We switched seats too, so I just want to say thank you guys for joining us on the show tonight. Thank you for joining us for that live premiere of Ghosts of Appalachia. That was a ruckus little time there, I believe. You guys seemed like you had a heck of a time with that. So
I do have a spider on my head. I need to
you got to go towards me.
move that way.
Slide towards me. There you go.
There we go.
It won't hurt you. All right.
Anyway,
We are alive.
So, like we mentioned earlier, we had all this stuff set up and ready to go. Well, Jesse had it set up and ready to go. And when we rewatched that video last night, we did a members exclusive live stream, and we heard a few things last night. It basically just ended up being a chat in the woods. We saw a few weird things. We heard a few weird things, but nothing like the 2 investigation videos we just released. So when we got back in, we knew that there had been a slight syncing issue with the audio as YouTube uploaded that video from Devil's Night.
And what's strange is it was just one section. The beginning was fine, and then after the one part where we had the shotgun mic recording the distance, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was just kind of the hike-in portion,
But
which was pretty odd.
So we sat down and watched the one you just saw, and paid real care. We're watching our mouths to make sure that the audio was completely synced up to make sure it wasn't an issue on our end. And that's when we saw that black thing that goes across. We had literally blinked and missed it on the first one. Because by the time it gets to you all, we've reviewed hours. I mean, like hours of footage. And we didn't see it at first. So we had to and Jesse's like, I've got to highlight this. This is bizarre. This is crazy. This is real evidence of something.
It is tangible. You can see it, and it was one thing that you saw that shadow figure in that doorway.
And it's the same approximate size. And I mean, I turned around in that doorway, like I showed. I saw some people kind of mentioning it. At one point, they were going to kind of fix that place up, apparently, because there's a lot of historical significance to it. There was a Cherokee town there, like we talk about, and then this settlement area that was there for a while. And it was a big place, as you could tell. And they started doing some, I guess renovations isn't the right word for it. They started kind of like shoring the old buildings up and everything like that, and then they just quit. I don't know why. It could have been something as simple as like a budget cut. But there's a lot of reports in that area of various weirdness, like a whole spectrum of weird stuff. So
I forgot to get my sword in my skull.
Go get your sword in your skull. So
excuse me all. I have important business to tend to.
So the whole area it's got a lot of weird stuff going on. But when I saw that black figure, to kind of back up before I was rudely interrupted by the half-naked woman going in front of the camera, that door in that cabin, the floorboards have swollen, like they've swollen over the years. So that door is stuck right there. So the only way to really move it would be to bust the damn thing down. And again, even though a lot of that thing is like that area is falling into ruin, I don't want to damage like a historical building like that for whatever reason.
Nobody panic. I'm back.
So, good God Almighty. So when you're in there, that door is just open toward, like at your back. It's very unnerving. Good God Almighty.
It's a short sword. It's not even the full size. So
Jesus God.
It's fine.
So, thanks for being a member for 11 months there, Hawk. And then Hawk, I'll get your follow-up question in a second. So So I kept looking over my shoulder in that doorway because it was just very unnerving to have that behind you. That building was very uncomfortable being in because it restricted your vision. You're inside a building, but there's that window that's like high up. There was a small hole in the wall.
There's absolutely no level of protection whatsoever.
So it was very unnerving. And I turned around and I've got a headlamp going forward. No part of me is causing a shadow with that headlamp. And I turned around and it was just in the headlamp there. And I just had, I mean, you heard me just go, Jesus. I mean, just, it was shocking. I mean, if it had stayed there for a second, I probably would have pulled my sidearm out and probably shot into it. But it was just gone. And it was the same approximate size. And it was like a black outline, but it had a haziness, like a staticky nature, kind of like what you saw there. And I can't explain it. I'm shocked that we got that on video. And I mean, we watched it frame by frame to make sure it wasn't like anything that we could come up with an explanation for. And we couldn't come up with an explanation for any of it. So I don't know. Hawk wanted to know, when are y'all going back there? Neither one of those places anytime soon, to be honest with you. Either the cemetery from the Devil's Night investigation or that settlement. We're not going back for a bit. I'm not into the spectral side of things like Jesse is, and especially with what I kind of experienced in that settlement. I'd like to sit here and tell you we're never going back, but we all know that we'll eventually go back.
We'll definitely go back.
Well, eventually it'll eat at us too much, but right now I'm not going back. Right now.
I think we'll go back, but I definitely need a break for a bit because going through the process of evidence review, video review, editing, everything, I'm really creeped out by a lot of that stuff. I have never seen so much evidence and such a variety of evidence. You have the EVP, you have that thing that says up here, City Boy. I think it's what somebody said.
Somebody said up here. I heard here, like, you know how somebody would mockingly be like, here, here, boy, here's City Boy. And I'm like, I spent a lot of time in the woods, man. I'm from the South. I grew up in a really rural area. I'm a city boy. But then I go, I've got like indoor plumbing, electricity, to if there was either, and I'm not a big ghost guy, but if there was a spirit of someone from the 1800s there, or something that was pretending to be a spirit from the 1800s. A handsome devil like me would be considered a city boy.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't know. It's weird. Zach, thank you for being a member. That shadow figure was crazy.
Yep. I've got some stuff started.
I'm going through it right now. Jessica Smith, City Boy Joe Birch Wynn. That's actually a pretty good idea. So
City Boy Joe.
We explain the nosebleed, Joe. What you think, how it happened, and why? I have no clue. I'm snorting right now. We spend a lot of time in damp woods, going into places we shouldn't. We're constantly fighting respiratory stuff. I
get that nasal spray at Sam's and Costco all the time.
I have never just had a nosebleed.
Yeah, I've never seen
out of the blue ever. So it could have been a coincidence, and we say it on that. But the timing, if it was a coincidence, it did nothing but unnerve me even more after seeing that black figure.
Of course, William Kennedy had us in the chat just freaked out because he's like, it wants blood.
Yeah. Super, I've never seen you guys that disturbed. Here's what's weird is that when we did that investigation, we came out of it going, my God, what happened to us? We were jumping at shadows.
Yeah.
And I saw that shadow, but again, at the same token, here's the deal. I didn't get it on camera when I saw it. And I even said, I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me. And we always leave that as a possible explanation. When you see something and you don't get it on camera, you have to.
You're in a heightened state.
Yeah, but you have to have that allowance that maybe your eyes played tricks on you. We're out there. We're in a heightened state. Mm-hmm. We're looking for weird stuff. The mind can play tricks on you. And if we don't get it on camera, then it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So we got out of there going, my God, we were jumping at everything. And we heard voices, but at the same token, here's the deal. We didn't see what was making the voices. We didn't know we had caught that stuff on the audio recorders.
Yeah.
The knocking, the footsteps, the "Hey, city boy," and that growl. And at the time we were going, gosh, this video makes us look very amateurish in how we do this, that we just got freaked out for no reason. But now we're going, no, we had every right to be freaked out. Our instincts were correct on that. Our instincts were telling us that there were things around us. Our instincts were telling us that something wasn't right. And our instincts were correct in that. And then when we heard the rah after "Here's City Boy," and Jesse's like, God, that sounds exactly like what I heard. We matched the timestamps on everything, and we realized
it was right there. It was
right there.
It was dead on.
Right there.
Because when Joe put the recorder in the cabin for the second time, when we actually got that EVP, he said, placing the recorder. So I used my editing software to line up that audio with the video, and it was all one continuous thing, and it all lined up precisely. So and somebody actually had a comment about that. I'm going to bring that up right here, about how I heard that.
Here's what's crazy to me, though. That area is...
Here you go. Here, this SC007 says, Jesse, did you say you audibly heard the growl at the exact same timestamp that it was recorded on the drop recorder a distance away in the building?
All right, so that's
the entity must be powerful.
That's where I'm going out with this. That roar was audible, but it wasn't super loud. And we were a ways away from that recorder.
Yes.
So that's what I don't understand right now. And I did not pick up what she heard on the shotgun mic we had with us, but she heard it. I mean, it's literally rah, and then Jesse flips out when you line everything up together. But it shouldn't be loud enough that she heard it all that ways away. And if it was loud enough, then why didn't I pick it up on my shotgun mic? But I can't dispute the fact that it lines up perfectly. That's what she heard. And I don't know how that's possible, but it's indisputable to me. I don't understand it, but it happened. And that's very bizarre to me. It's very bizarre that thing had almost like wanting me to cut, wanting me to come in, I mean, just like it was taunting me I don't know, man. It was weird. Valhalla, thank you for that. We want poor Lowell. Yank it in that for a while. That was like a bit.
That was, not only all the work that went into us putting together Helmet Halloween and these investigations and everything, but the emotional drain that both of these investigations took on us. The toll has been immeasurable. We have been just trying to recover from that for a while. My Estes session in that cemetery took a lot out of me.
Oh, yeah.
And then this investigation clearly physically affected you, unlike anything we have ever done before.
Yeah, I was more uncomfortable at that point. And I even said at one point, I'm sure you've included in some of the videos, but we'll be out and we'll have a bunch of gear set up. And I'll be like, well, if something happens, I ain't running. I'm not leaving this gear. We'll make a stand right here. That's the first time I've ever just been like, I'm just gonna start pitching gear off me so we can get out of here. And it was just weird that I'd have that sensation of it. Cynthia, the City Boy audio reminded me of the movie Constantine. How so?
I was curious about that. That's why I marked it.
Yeah, let me know what you mean about that.
I love that movie.
Did you feel driven out or tracked and hunted? We felt something stay with us every step of the way out of there. Every step of the way out of there. We ran a camera on the hike out and up to when we finally got back to the vehicle. Most of that footage I can't put on YouTube because we're cursing the whole way. We're upset. Yeah. It's frightening. It was not a comfortable thing to be in. Hawk saying just go in the daytime. We might try to go.
Yeah, maybe a good day scout.
Deuster. How you feeling, City Boy Joe? I feel fine now. I mean, we're tired from all that. I mean, Halloween has been a marathon for us. Doing the investigations, getting them all set up, just doing everything. Next year, it was kind of we were going to do something for Halloween this year, but we just kind of decided let's just blow Halloween out.
Yeah.
And we should have probably had some more prep time because we weren't expecting the investigations to take such a physical toll on us.
I think we did okay. I think Helmet Halloween was a success, and we are going to make it a tradition.
Oh yeah, I ain't doing all that though. So.
Oh yes, you will. My God, I know you. You absolutely will.
What was Walter? What was on Jesse's chest rig?
That's what I was wondering. It might have been my lav mic. I had my lav mic attached to it. That might be what you're seeing.
We do a 2 and sometimes 3 tiered audio recording system.
Now that's how we have been getting such great
why we're getting stuff.
Evidence.
I mean, and I keep telling people like this because I'm gonna say it. We caught some crazy stuff on this investigation. Some crazy stuff. We caught some crazy audio on that cemetery investigation. And I think that this stuff happens more often than a lot of people who are outside of this field really realize. But it's just that when people experience it, they're not prepared to capture it. You can't really do this with a cell phone. You can't really do this with a lot of stuff. You can't really just do this with just a GoPro. What we have is we have that shotgun mic set up. We have lavs on us because they do a good job of picking us up and anything in our immediate area. And then we've got our drop recorders that we use and other recording type stuff. But we run multiple layers of audio recording at this point. And it's difficult. It means you've got to review all of it. But man, when something happens, it pays off like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. I was so freaked out. I was there and I was freaked out by this whole thing.
Yeah. So what do you prefer? Truly prefer cryptid or paranormal? I think the two bleed over a lot more than what people realize.
I think we're definitely discovering that.
I prefer the Bigfoot, even the Dogman stuff. I prefer that brand of high strangeness than this stuff. I have a visceral resistance to the stuff that we did for the past 2 investigations. That's not what I got into this for.
Yeah, but you're learning that you're going to have to evolve with this.
I understand.
You're going to have to.
I'm the king of evolution. What are you talking about? So,
okay, city boy.
PCX. Y'all need to take it easy for a bit and go investigate a KFC or something. Look at the wealthy guy eating a KFC, for God's sakes. What is it, like $40 for like 2 people to eat there nowadays?
You know where good fried chicken is.
Tell me where good fried chicken is.
Publix is good fried chicken.
You're on the Publix payroll. They got to you. Bob Olson, thank you for that, Bob. Greatly appreciate it. Michael, wait till next October to go back. I'll probably end up getting dragged there before October. Do y'all ever meditate in the woods to draw on spirits or cryptids closer? Jesse is doing this contact. Almost everything you're going to see come from us is going to have something to do with Jesse's contact.
It's going to have some facet. And I'm going to be talking with my skull. You know, some people talk with their hands. Italians talk with their hands. I talk with my skull. There is going to be some facet of this contact project involved in most of the investigations that we do because I'm diving in on this. And eventually I hope to write a book about my experiments and what I'm doing with the contact experiments. But yeah, I think there's going to be some facet of that. So we'll be doing that. And meditation is a huge part of that. I have discovered that learning how to meditate, and I've had to learn how to meditate. I'm not somebody that can close their brain, like shut their brain down very well. So I've had to really learn how to meditate and get into that state of mind.
She's got a crazy brain. Okay, do y'all ever run a camera on y'all's back trail, like on our backs? No, not almost never, and here's why. If you saw the back-facing cameras work really well on level, pretty straight trails. Everybody always references the late Scott Carpenter with wearing a back-facing camera. And a lot of the areas you've seen in there that a lot of the areas he used that on were pretty level, pretty cleared and wide, straight trails for the most part. And we are rarely in those. And we experimented with that for a while. It's a lot more complex than what people think it is. You have to, action cameras that you usually have on the back like that, they go through batteries very quickly. So you have to have it on an external power source. You've got it on your back. With us, we're going through stuff, over stuff, under stuff, crawling a lot. Most of the footage is, well, I'm going to say most, pretty much all of the footage is just useless. And then you got to review it all. We were in one area within the past few months where I went, you know what, this is a perfect spot for a back-facing cam, but we didn't have one because we never used it. It's just that for the way we do it, it's like when people go, y'all should have e-bikes. And I go, we can't use e-bikes. I mean, we're, even if you don't see it in the video, generally we're climbing over some sort of obstacle or going under an obstacle, or, you know, we're not on just cleared hiking trails where you can do that sort of stuff.
And we have so much gear. There'd be no way.
Yeah. So
no way.
Robert Lutz, did you guys bring anything with you? Hopefully not. Not that we know of.
Not that we know of. But and I think Deuster even suggested that we smudge the house and kind of give it a good cleansing. I think that's part of.
Deuster's our spiritual guru, our spiritual god.
He's a wizard among other things.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but
Swami Deuster, just, you know, he's our spiritual guide.
He probably could. He could use my meditation. I had to get a meditation pillow.
I will say though that when I sat down, because usually when we get back with these, Jesse will review the video footage and I'll review the audio footage. Just because Jesse's the one who cobbles it all together. I mean, the whole goal of this thing was, I always thought that investigative stuff like this fell into two camps. Really slickly produced entertainment stuff that was all fake, and then the real stuff that was just, quite honestly, a lot of times not the most exciting stuff you've ever seen. So therefore, people wouldn't give it a chance to see what was out there. And our goal was to do what we're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? To, like, you know, to present this stuff, show you what happens, but try to, just with two people, record everything in a usable manner, and then
also be the investigator.
Yeah, be the investigator itself, you know, and it's difficult for two people, but that was the goal. So
I think we're up to the task.
So Jesse cobbles all that together. So I do the audio. So I'm reviewing the audio and I start hearing like the knocks and the banging and I think the walking was the first thing I heard. And I'm on there with headphones and I'm going, good Lord. And I get to the city boy part and I probably listened to that. I don't know how many dozens of times I listened to that. And what's crazy is I had stopped the audio and I kind of had my headphones like slightly off a little bit. And I'm hearing like what sounded like a slight banging or footsteps in the house. And I just sat there going, and I checked the computer, which is right in front of me, to make sure that the audio wasn't still playing. And I'm like, no, the audio's not playing. What am I hearing? It's damn cats, like running around going crazy. So it scared the crap out of me. I was in this 100-year-old house that if it wasn't haunted before, it's haunted now with all the weird stuff.
I don't know why you think this place is
haunted. Exactly.
I don't know what you have in your brain.
And I slept with the lights on that night, man. I don't know. Sean had asked, how have y'all been feeling since we got out there? We're tired. We're exhausted. It took a lot out of us.
We've been working a lot on this. We just got done with this crazy hurricane recovery. And then all of this. So I think we're going to try to rest tomorrow and reassess. I know that we're physically and mentally just drained.
The cemetery investigation was physically crushing. And then it was mentally crushing for Jesse. And then we're going to probably put out some of the footage of us trying to get in there, because there used to be a way to access that was a monumental pain in the butt, but you could do it. And then the new way is you need days. You need a set of days back to be able to get in there at that point. I mean, it's almost to the point where you have to sleep on the way in, getting in on foot, because the distance is pretty great, but just the difficulty in traversing that terrain is pretty crappy. Keith McGrath asked, when will we all be back in the LBL? I don't know. We'll be back in the LBL eventually. Deuster and us have been talking about a project down there, but right now there's so many people.
There's so many people in the LBL.
After the Seth Breedlove stuff, the Small Town Monster stuff that came out, like big groups of 40 and 50 people. And there's a lot of official attention on the LBL right now, just because they know that it's very illegal to run paid expeditions in the LBL. Yeah, and some of that's going on right now. So there's And we don't do that, but at the same token,
we don't want to get wrapped up in whatever's going on.
So we're gonna when we go
because
back down the LBL, y'all will find out about it right as we're leaving. So yeah.
Yeah, or after we're already there, just because we have a lot of equipment, we don't going to get our car tossed and stuff like that. But we have some plans down the road for doing that.
Mundo Dave, the best shadow being I've ever seen, and I've seen loads of vids. Let's talk about that. Does anybody have, and I'll get on the live chat here real quick. Does anybody have thoughts, theories, anything for it? Anybody have any ideas on the shadow being thing that was there?
Shadow being. I don't like the sound of that. Also, I wanted to ask you guys, did you notice this here, my coffin that I put there? It's a Dogman coffin.
So yeah, who has an idea or just a thought or anything like that for that damn shadow thing that went across? You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, people see shadow beings and these kind of investigations and these kind of experiences a lot. I was shocked that you saw it, and then shortly thereafter, we caught what appears to be a shadow being going across in front of me between the camera. How insane was that? Right after you saw it and you had that experience.
So we have, the whole goal is to...
And then your nose starts bleeding after that.
And again, that might have been a coincidence, but like, I'm always a little sniffly nowadays. You know what I'm saying? We're in an area that's got bad pollen. But here's the deal. I've never had just a nosebleed out of the blue like that. It's just weird. But I mean, we've seen, even as prepared as we are, we've still seen things and not been able to catch them on camera. The most notable being those things that we saw on the LBL. We've seen them on 3 occasions. I've seen it once and Jesse's seen it twice, and describing it to each other, it's got to be the same thing. I don't know what it is. It's not a Bigfoot. It's not a Dogman. I don't know what it is. Each time we couldn't get it on camera. And then I saw that woman in, it's not a woman in white. She was gray, but I saw that. But even then I was just, you hear me go, I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me. I think you could tell when I saw that shadow figure in that cabin, I allowed that possibility, but you could tell I was pretty convinced that it wasn't my eyes playing tricks on me. Yeah. I saw it just because the circumstances. I've got that very bright headlight facing forward. All the light is coming from in front of my body. There's nothing backlit. There's nothing that's causing a shadow. And I turned around and I hit it with the light, and it's still there with the light on it, and then it just goes. I don't know, man. It's weird. And then like I said, I mean, I'll be honest with you, we freaked out after we saw that thing on video that we caught. And I'm just going, that's it. I mean, I saw it and I couldn't capture it. And that's it. That's it. We got it on camera. We got it on freaking camera. So
we got some shadow being stuff here. Joseph Sage says, have you guys seen a lot of shadow people investigating? I used to work in an assisted living facilities. You see shadow beings there a lot.
We see, but here's the deal. You never know a lot of times when you catch stuff out of the corner of your eye, you never know. You never know whether it's something paranormal or it's just your eyes playing tricks on you. I think that a lot of people explain explain real things that they see away by being, oh, my eyes are playing tricks on me. I think that's a comforting way for people to kind of like explain a lot of that away, because I don't want to believe the alternative is possible. But I don't know. I mean, we've seen shadow type things before. We've seen I saw something like an outline of something in an area with a lot of Bigfoot activity before. We've seen stuff like that, but I've just never seen it that close, lit up there for a split second and then gone. And then
Did it have a transparent quality?
It had that staticky kind of thing, like, you know, like a black static.
Did you see?
Like a black static, but it was still an outline, but it just seemed staticky. That's the only description.
At those stills where I have it frame by frame.
I haven't even really looked at it that much.
I'll show it to you on the computer, but like frame by frame, you can look at it. It looks like static. It's black static.
Yeah, black static.
That's crazy that you said that, because you haven't even seen those stills like up close. since I put those in there last night.
Sean wants to know if we've been there day and night. We've been there the day before, and it's creepy. You can tell that at one point there was, like I said, there was some plan to do something with it. They put new roofs on it, and at the beginning of it, it's kind of fixed up. There's some new support boards in there, like some supporting framework, and then it just stopped. I don't know, it just stopped. It's weird. It's very weird.
Jim Runge called it the hillbilly haunter. He called you a city boy.
And it's just, and that the cadence of that voice and that accent.
Here's city
It
boy.
seemed raw. The accent of that voice sounded like somebody from the 1800s or something that was imitating somebody from the 1800s. So
That's so disturbing.
Hawk, have you ever investigated Cades Cove? No, we haven't. We need to do that. We need to go off season though, because Cades Cove is
That's
like
one of the most busy parts of
Yeah.
the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. That's part of the problem with Great Smoky Mountain National Park is
so busy.
it's insanely busy. Right after COVID, people would have to get permits to park just to get on trails.
Bonnie Blue's got a good one. I wonder if it was draining your equipment to manifest. The fact that Jesse's flashlight went, and that flashlight works fine now. And I'm glad we caught that on camera, just her holding it and it's starting to flicker and flash like that. And then our camera batteries, I wish I had one in here, but we use oversized, like, extra capacity batteries on our camcorder.
Marcus Aurelius says he sees fast-moving shadow beings at the hospital late at night often. That was moving really fast.
Hey,
But go on.
Marcus. Oh, what's up, Marcus? Glad you could pop in with us, buddy. So I don't know. But it wasn't as severe as Station 16 or that night we tried to live stream. I had to replace a bunch of those batteries. I had to hurry up and get them done so we had everything ready to go before Halloween came.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those batteries from that last live stream we did just don't work anymore. A lot of my SD cards, we had to send a couple SD cards back into Samsung under warranty.
Which
and
I
get
didn't know
new
that was a
ones.
thing you could
Yeah,
do.
you can do it. And they were good. If you ever need an SD card, go with Samsung. I sent them in and they tested them and they went, yeah, all these cards
These
are
are shot,
corrupt.
yeah.
We'll send you some new ones. I got new SD cards, which was good. That helped out. But so let's see what we got.
I got some stuff marked on there.
Okay. People want to know if that skull is real.
Somebody said, wink at the camera if the skull is real.
Cool Crow.
You gotta have a real skull.
Cool Crow Productions. I got a little tongue tied there.
Cool Crow Productions.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. So, Harvest Mary Moon, have y'all ever investigated the Wampus Cat?
So a friend of mine lives in Cherokee County, South Carolina, and he has a property out there. It's near the battlefield. And he was telling me one time that they were having a lot of calves go missing or getting mauled to death out there. So they put a cage, like a trap out there. And they ended up catching something, but it basically ate its way out of the cage. How would you say? Like tore the cage to bits, getting out.
Well,
And
it was
there
a
was
wolf. It was a
also-
wolf trap,
Yeah, there
and
was also
something bent the metal and tore it up from the wolf trap. They put out
one
there.
of the neighbors that lives down the way there actually saw in the distance a dark, large, huge cat out there in one of the fields. So we've not gone out there and investigated it, but we do have a line on a Wampus cat situation.
So
I got a line on a Wampus cat.
We got a Wampus Cat guy. One Jeep cam. Do you carry anything like holy water with you just in case? You can't because
We accidentally did one time, and
I talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
And I had holy water in my backpack. We didn't experience anything for a while. You know what I'm saying? And we're always like, the next weird thing we experience might be the last weird thing we ever experience. You never know. And we never really experienced. We were going into areas where we'd had previous activity. Nothing was happening. And then we were getting ready to go out. We were leaving the vehicle, getting ready to hike in, and I found a little vial of holy water in my backpack. And I made mention it to her, and I went, I'm going to take this out. Let's see what happens. Freaking floodgates opened up that night on us.
Yeah.
It was like it was all pent up. So Way of the Spaloot sent us some like protective stone, like jewelry that we will wear in like real bad areas when we're scouting it. And that's about the extent of it, though. We can't carry anything like that because it pushes the activity back, and our whole goal is to try to document the activity. So, better with the Irish. My contacts are drying out. I've had them in all day. It's been a long day. I've experienced a lot, and the speed of that was unlike anything. Assuming you're talking about that black shadow figure. Yeah, we had to, Jesse's. Do you have like frame by frame images of it in there, like as well?
Yeah.
Okay, you seeing something there, obviously. So.
No, I'm trying to make sense of some chat here. I don't quite understand what is being communicated.
Any plans to revisit Panthertown? Yeah, our boy Deathwish does a lot of stuff up in that area. We are going to go back into that area. I don't know what the condition of it is like after the storm, but we will. We will. Bristol wants to know, at the time the shadow went by, do you remember how you felt? Have seen shadow people on Shadow
I think we were
Street.
so heightened at that point. Everything was so heightened.
Everything was just, we were already like a friggin' wreck at that point. So we were already just a wreck, mostly because of me.
Bad Mojo said, what the hell? Are we going to see anything or what? We just played the video. The video just premiered at 9 p.m. So we're all talking about the video that premiered at 9 p.m. But it's on our channel. It's called Ghosts of Appalachia. That's what we're talking about.
What are we're seeing this out here?
Up to speed.
So.
Pork Chop Express. Thank you for that, sir. Jesse, I'm still holding out for you to do a spear finger investigation. You are one heck of a storyteller, and you rock the historical legends. I have had an obsession with that spear finger. I've had an obsession with that spear finger legend for a long time. I want to do an investigation on that, but my investigation that I have planned for that particular legend is very ambitious. It's probably one of the most ambitious things that I've ever come up with, and we are not ready to embark on that yet because that's going to be a long expedition with a lot of moving parts to it, and I want to do it justice. But there will eventually be a Spearfinger investigation, and it's going to be highly ambitious, but it's going to be worth it. You don't even know what I just said, do you?
Going through this chat, you're talking about it. Spearfinger's going to be ambitious. It's going to be worth it.
Look at you.
I'm a multitasker.
Look at you.
This is Chris. I just saw a dog man with a helmet out t-shirt on. I'll post the pics to the Discord.
That was Denim Devil walking around out there.
Yeah, Marcus, I'm glad you're able. I was getting ready to say that.
Oh, were you?
I was getting ready because I was going to say I'm just glad to have you back. Marcus's job has not been conducive to him joining the Mondays, so we're glad to have him back, man. So, it's a treat to have you here.
A welcome treat to have Marcus Aurelius back in the gang. The band's all back together.
The band is getting back together. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We're not going too terribly long tonight, guys. I think y'all have had enough of us.
We've had enough helmet holler.
Man, I'm telling you, we were shameless with just all the stuff. But
I just want to say, I think it was warranted. Those videos, those investigations, they were insane. They were absolutely insane. I had a blast putting together all the graphics and all the promotional videos and putting everything together for it. I had a lot of fun doing that. This was an ambitious project to do Hellbent Halloween.
Yeah.
We want to thank you guys for joining us for the whole thing too, and really participating in the chats and watching the lives and being a part of the premieres. And these videos, I'm really proud of these videos. I'm really proud of these investigations. I feel like we've kind of turned a new page in Hellbent Holler and kind of how we're going to do investigations going forward, how we're going to conduct our investigations, and maybe the kind of areas that we start stepping into with them.
Yeah.
Valhalla says, time for a vacation. Nope.
No, we're going to get a little rest. And keep it going till midnight. We're going to go as long as we can. I don't even know how many people do we got? 300 people in here?
322.
Oh, I'm sorry, 350. That ain't shabby.
I said 322, not 350.
That ain't too shabby.
Do you wish to be the next Skull, Joe?
Somebody had asked about your knife that you've just got laying open here on the floor.
It's a short sword.
That's a
I guess it's a knife for you.
toothpick, Texas toothpick.
I was gonna bring out my ceremonial sword, but I thought that would be a better option.
Yeah, the ceremonial sword. We're pretty set up kind of haphazardly in here, so
I think the ceremonial sword would have been too large, you know.
But let's see what else we've got here.
I even had the new haunted object lined up in case we didn't have a lot of chat going on, but everybody seems like they were really enjoyed the video. I need to stop swinging the sword around.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up. They're gonna watch me get taken away on the ambulance.
Happy Halloween.
So Jesse has a. What is the thing called?
What?
The doll, the weird doll. It's a funeral doll. The one doll that you have that it's made with human hair.
Oh, it's a Victorian mourning doll.
Mourning doll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made with, and I'm assuming, and I'm going to probably butcher this, so I'll let you explain what it is. So,
do you want me to get it?
Sure, go grab it.
Yeah, but I have another one now, but that one's not a mourning doll, and that's not Victorian. Here, let me step aside around the skulls and daggers. The skull and daggers. So, Bug.
So my house is a freak show. I got a haunted doll, supposedly, that was just given to her, staring at me from its little box right here.
Well, the haunted doll is from 1905. This one is a Victorian mourning doll. So the 1905 doll is supposedly haunted, and it's but this is a Victorian mourning doll. I'm back. I'll share my dolls with you. So this is a Victorian, it's a handmade Victorian mourning doll. The hair is the hair of the deceased child. And there's actually a portrait here that is attached to the doll itself of the child that the hair is from. So, and then there's also a bonnet from the child in here as well.
So like I said, if this place wasn't,
but we got another one donated to the cause, to the museum this past week. Yeah. So, and it's in a case, and it's from 1905, and it's allegedly a haunted doll. So we're not sure yet, but yeah, if you didn't have enough problems with these things, we've got more now.
But so anyway, I guess the two standout things on this last investigation were the "Hey, city boy," and then Jesse hearing an accompanying guttural like vocalization like that. Because your description of it's pretty damn well dead on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the shadow thing that we didn't even really know we had until like 3 a.m. last night.
Did you not see William Kennedy? The sword wants blood.
William Kennedy's fired up, man. He had the best narration of a video I've ever seen.
I was in the video, and I've seen the video, and he is terrifying me of this whole thing. But go on, I'm sorry.
But
I'm just having a blast here.
Anyway.
What's going on? Okay.
So, anyway. Sean Blevins wants to chill with the paranormal investigations. That's not what I go out looking for, but I think it's a lot more tied in with all this stuff's so tied in together. And you kind of got to go where the evidence takes you. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, when we did this, we've had a ton of people over the past like 48 hours going, you need to be doing more Bigfoot videos. And I'm going, well, if we were in an area that we were having what we thought was Bigfoot activity, that's what we would focus on. But when we go back to these two areas, we'll be open for it. We'll be kind of ready for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was something, and at Hawk, if he's still in here, he mentioned it. There was a physical aspect to whatever was going on in that settlement area.
Yeah.
Because it looked as if something was getting under the buildings. It looked like something big was bedding down in that one corn crib, if that's what it was. And it looked like something was making a tunnel under that bridge that we took to get to that spring house. So I think there's a variety of things going on there. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
So
We're not going to go too late tonight. I know Lady Wolf's about to call it a night.
Yeah,
too.
we're about to call it. Tell you what,
We're-
we'll go till 11:30 if Jesse and I can keep it together here, and then we'll call it at 11:30.
Can you keep it together?
I'm gonna try, man. I'm seeing double.
I am
so
too. I'm so
seeing
tired.
double.
I'm hungry. But yeah, this was, I do want to thank you guys for joining us for Hellbent Halloween. I think we need to make a tradition out of this and make it something that we do every year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're probably going to get bigger and better with it every year, huh? Wouldn't you say?
I mean,
I know we were ambitious with it. It's just us two doing all this stuff.
The thing is that we can't force high strangeness or paranormal activity to perform upon command. You know, we can't force it to occur so we can document it.
Yeah.
But going into these areas, just the two of us, sometimes we don't guess right on the equipment because we can only fit so much in our backpacks. We can only carry so much. And sometimes we're in these areas and we go, do you have this? And I go, no, I don't have that. It's freaking 6 hours away at home, you know?
Yeah. And as we say, it's like you're chasing the phenomenon with tech.
Yeah. So sometimes you guess right, sometimes you guess wrong. But we're kind of hitting our stride right now with this stuff. Ain't too shabby. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good ghost hunting for a city boy.
Yeah, for a city boy Joe. It's the way that we are constantly like refining. I'm just gonna toot my own damn horn here for a second. I'm gonna toot yours. Toot away, boy.
Toot away, my man.
It's the fact that we were running 2 cameras and we got that shadow thing up was perfectly timed. We did that great. And our placement of the drop recorders, the audio recorders was great. And the shotgun setup along with the lavs and then the third recorder set up occasionally is working great.
But if you don't have the ability to gather the evidence, you'll never gather the evidence. That's why we have all of
And if you gather the evidence and it's sloppily done and you present it
in a sloppy way,
people can disregard it. You know what I'm saying? But when you you do such a good job editing the videos.
Thank you.
That people will sit and give it the time and at least be open to it. And then we can show them the crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there you go. So
I just, if we were doing all of this and we were experiencing all of it, and I would explode if I couldn't tell people about it.
Yeah.
I would be like, so this happened and this happened. And people would just be like, okay, Jesse, that's nice, whatever. But, you know, we're experiencing this and we're able to actually capture it. I think that's something special. I think that's something that helps us not go crazy because it's like, here, take on this crazy burden with me to see what we're experiencing and what we're going through, you know, so dig it.
Thank you for that. Better with the Irish. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Better with the Irish. It is better with the Irish.
It is better with the Irish. So, Wallace had asked earlier, is this the most active place y'all have ever been? Before we did the audio and video review, I would have said no.
I don't know. We were pretty flipped the hell out.
Yeah, but again, we didn't know what I came away going, did we just let our imaginations get the best of us?
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Because I saw that figure, but I can't prove it. I couldn't even prove it to myself at that point.
Yeah.
If somebody stuck a gun to my head and go, before I saw the video that we captured, and before it was just me, they're going, swear it wasn't your eyes playing a trick on you. I couldn't say that.
Now, what if somebody stuck a short sword to you?
Oh, good Lord. But it's one of the most active places we've ever been to. And as far as like a targeted activity.
It was, I think
an interactive activity.
In terms of like paranormal activity, targeted activity, that was, dare I say, bananas. It was overwhelming. It was frightening. I mean, and a lot of people, if you watched the video yesterday, The Devil's Graveyard, I was in tears after that Estes session. I was in tears. It scared me so bad. It shook me to my core. Nobody has ever seen that on anything we've ever done before. That nothing has ever shaken me that bad. I was shooketh because of that. But what happened there? Shooketh. And nothing has ever done that to me to that degree as that investigation and that session. So I think it was probably one of the most active things that we've ever experienced and gone through. Certainly.
So
it's 11:22. We're
Yeah.
gonna do last call on
we're going to
this.
do last call in a couple
Because I think
minutes.
we're gonna wrap up Halloween. Hellbent Halloween. I think it's been a
I'm cleaning up any of the studio stuff until tomorrow, though. I can tell you that
do it
much
tomorrow.
right now.
Just cut it all off.
But
flip the switch.
anyway, we appreciate you guys spending Halloween with us. We greatly appreciate it. We are going to try to do this every year.
Yeah.
You ain't going to hear nothing from us tomorrow because we are going to be down for the count tomorrow. We're going to get some rest and try to, we've got some equipment refit that we need to do and everything like that. I don't know what our plan is for this weekend, but we'll see.
Good night, Dooster.
Good night, Dooster. But anyway, we appreciate you guys sharing Halloween with us.
Yeah. We shall do it again. I feel honored that you would spend such a wonderful, fantastic holiday with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a blast. We'll definitely do all this again. So
we are wrapping it up, folks.
you can tell we're out of steam. We're both
we're
going.
out.
So
I hit it. Yeah, I'm done.
yeah. I'm definitely gonna eat a couple more Milk Duds before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So Joe, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's pumpkin cups.
You like them pumpkins?
Yeah. Lady Wolf, thank you for that.
Thank you, Lady Wolf.
Awesome mod, and then you do that. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Somebody's the MVP.
The MVP. So, but yeah, Reese's peanut butter pumpkins. Those are my favorite Halloween candy.
Okay.
So,
you may think I'm a disgusting cretin for this, but I like the pumpkin candy corns.
oh,
Yeah. I know. I'm not proud of it, but I do like the pumpkin candy corns.
we're gonna leave on that disgusting note.
I
We're
think
gonna dip out on that disgusting note.
They're wonderful.
So, guys, thank you all so much. Keep your notifications on. We might get a wild hair. You might hear something from Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
We'll see how we feel after a little bit of
No
sleep.
rest for the wicked
No
here
rest
at
for the
Hellbent
wicked.
Manor. Thank you guys for joining us for this after show, and thank you for joining us for that premiere of Ghosts of Appalachia. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate our members for sticking it out with us and being part of this project and making sure that this project goes forward and happens. We couldn't do it without you guys watching and participating, sharing everything you guys do for our channel. I feel like we're just a funeral or something.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Gosh.
So
I could better put that sword away or it will be. But thank you guys so much. I want you all to get some rest and try to not have nightmares about the angry, what was the haunted hillbilly?
yes. So the haunted hillbilly.
Here, city boy.
So,
All right. I'll protect Joe through the night. But thank you guys so much. Thank you. I can't say that enough.
Phoenix, thank you as well. So
Phoenix does.
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
Guys and ghouls.
happy Halloween.
Halloween.
And we are out of here.
Yep, and we're just gonna end it there. Thank you guys. Love you. Let's put on some spookies. You know, some guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.